The story started quietly, but within hours, it became one of the most talked about topics across Nigeria. News began to spread that former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai was being released from detention. The information did not come from an official government statement at first. It came from his own son, Bashir El-Rufai, who shared the update online. According to him, his father had regained his freedom after spending weeks in custody. He also appreciated those who supported the family during that period. Naturally, once that message hit social media, it spread very fast. People began celebrating, debating, and questioning what was really going on. But then something unexpected happened. That same message announcing his release was suddenly deleted. And that changed everything. Now, instead of people simply reacting to the news, Nigerians began asking deeper questions. Was the release confirmed? Was the announcement made too early? Or is there something happening behind the scenes that the public is not fully aware of? You see, when a message like that appears and disappears, it creates even more curiosity. It makes people feel like there is more to the story than what is being said openly. As the conversation grew, more details began to come out about why El-Rufai was in detention in the first place. Reports say he had been under investigation over issues connected to financial management during his time in office. There were also mentions of other legal concerns being looked into by authorities. Now, it is important to understand that being investigated or detained does not mean someone is guilty. In many cases, it simply means that authorities are trying to understand the full situation before any final decision is made. El-Rufai himself had already denied the claims and was ready to defend himself legally. But here is where the story becomes even more emotional. Around the same time this release news surfaced, it was reported that his mother had passed away in Egypt. That adds a very human side to the entire situation. Beyond politics and legal matters, this is a family going through a personal loss. So now people are wondering, could this situation have influenced the timing of the reported release? Was it a compassionate decision or just a coincidence? At this point, there has not been a very clear and detailed explanation from official sources about the exact terms of his release if fully confirmed. And that uncertainty is what keeps everyone talking. Because in Nigeria, when it comes to big political figures, every move is watched closely. And Nasir El-Rufai is not just any figure. He has been a strong voice in Nigerian politics for years. From his time as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to serving as Governor of Kaduna State, he has remained active and influential. So when something like this happens, it is never just about one person. It becomes a national conversation. Now, let's make this even more interesting. Many Nigerians are already sharing different opinions. Some believe that this is simply the legal system doing its job, that everyone, no matter how powerful, should be accountable. Others believe there could be political factors involved, especially when situations like this involve well-known leaders. And that brings us to a question for you watching right now. Do you think this situation is purely about the law taking its course, or do you feel there could be other forces influencing what is happening? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your opinion. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss important updates like this. Now, let's take this a step further, because this situation is bigger than just one man or one moment. It could have serious political implications. When a figure like Nasir El-Rufai is involved in a situation like this, it naturally sends signals across the entire political space. Whether people admit it or not, leaders, supporters, and even opponents are all watching closely. Why? Because moments like this can influence alliances, public perception, and even future elections. Think about it carefully. If El-Rufai successfully navigates this situation and clears his name, it could strengthen his position politically. Some supporters may see him as someone who faced pressure and came out stronger. In Nigerian politics, that kind of narrative can actually build more influence. But on the other hand, if the situation becomes more complicated, Or if more serious findings come out, it could affect how people see him moving forward. Politics is not just about power, it is also about perception, and perception can change very quickly. Now let's talk about another angle that many people are quietly thinking about: power dynamics. El-Rufai has always been known as someone who speaks his mind and plays a strong role behind the scenes. Over the years, he has built relationships across different political groups, but he has also had disagreements with key figures. So, when something like this happens, some people begin to wonder, is this purely a legal issue, or could it also be connected to deeper political tensions? This is where things become very sensitive, because in any country, when high-profile individuals face legal challenges, there will always be different interpretations. Some people will trust the process completely, others will look for hidden meanings. And that is exactly what is happening right now. But let's bring it back to you, the viewer. How do you see it? Do you think this situation will affect El-Rufai's influence in Nigerian politics? Or do you believe he will bounce back even stronger? Drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's have a real conversation. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you connected to stories that matter. Now, here is something else to consider. This situation is also a test, not just for El-Rufai, but for the system itself. People are watching to see how transparent the process will be. They want clear communication. They want to understand what is happening step by step, because trust in institutions is built during moments like this. If everything is handled openly and fairly, it can increase public confidence. But if things remain unclear, it can lead to more questions and speculation. And as we have already seen, even one deleted message can create a wave of uncertainty. That tells you how closely Nigerians are paying attention. Now imagine what could happen if more unexpected updates come out. This is why you should stay connected to this story. Because whether you are interested in politics or not, situations like this can shape conversations across the country. They influence how people think, how they react, and sometimes even how they vote in the future. So this is not just news. This is a developing story with real impact. And trust me, we are going to keep following every update as it comes. Before I wrap up this part, let me ask you one more important question. If you were in his position, how would you handle this situation? Would you speak out immediately or stay quiet and let the legal process speak for itself? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And again, if you've made it this far, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Because the truth is, this story is still unfolding, and the next chapter could change everything.